Heart for Worship is music of actual church praise and worship teams on the internet, the world's God talent. To have the music of your church's praise and worship team played on the show, send a CD recording to Heart for Worship, 1360 West Isabella Avenue, Suite 2047, Mesa, Arizona, 85202. You can find this address at heartforworship.com. Again, CDs only. Please include the lyrics of any songs you submit. Music must be original, must have the written permission of the song's rights owner, or must be public domain. Again, for more information, visit heartforworship.com. That's heart, the number 4, worship.com. If you would like Heart for Worship to continue the Lord's work and perhaps grow, please pray about sending a one-time gift or monthly pledge. You can send donations to 1360 West Isabella Avenue, Suite 2047, Mesa, Arizona 85202. Or go to heart4worship.com for information. Thank you.
Some people seek a life of wealth and fame. Some people want to live in sin without any shame. I believe there's a purpose to which we are called. I want to live a life that's abandoned to God. I want to be abandoned to His will and His ways, to stand before men in the light of His grace. I want to be abandoned till there's nothing of me. So when men look at this life, it's Jesus they see. Selfish pride, it leaves their hearts cold and empty inside. But a peace comes to those who answer His call. If they are willing to abandon it all, I want to be abandoned to His will and His ways, to stand before men in the light of His grace. I want to be abandoned till there's nothing of me. So when men look at this life, it's Jesus they see. When Jesus speaks, so few want to hear it. I want to hear His voice and yield to the Spirit. Oh yes, it is an honor to bear His name.
survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died. My richest gain I count but loss, and pour contempt on all my pride. Forbid it, Lord, that I should boast save in the death of Christ my God. All the vain things that charm me most, I sacrifice them to His blood. Since I, who was undone and lost, have pardon through His name and word. Forbid it then that I should boast. Save in the cross of Christ my Lord.
And now a brief Bible study brought to you by Shalom, Serving Him and Loving Others Ministry. You're welcome to use this study any way you wish, as long as it gives glory to God. You can receive these teachings by email, and you're welcome to send us names and email addresses of others who you think may want to receive these studies, especially non-believers. Send the email addresses of those to receive the teachings to frank@heart4worship.com. frank@heart4worship.com. And we're in our 14th week of studies on 3:16, a dedication to John 3:16. And we're still in 1 Chronicles 3:16. We left off with a study on kings and how they reacted to their responsibility as king. Jehoshaphat was last, and we know that he obeyed God. And if you recall, we left off with, but then, the son of Jehoshaphat, Jehoram, took over as king at the age of 32. Now, if you remember, Jehoshaphat set his son up with his bride, the daughter of Ahab. It was now going to come back to bite Judah. Jehoram's wife was wicked. She had an incredible influence on Jehoram, to the point where he compelled his people to worship idols. And then he killed his brothers to avoid competition for the throne. Jehoram was the king for 8 years, circa 849 to 842 BC. Ahaziah, Jehoram's son, 22 years old, was next in line, but he lasted only 1 year, 842 to 841 BC. Ahaziah was a friend of Joram, or Joram, I don't know which way you'd like to say that, the then king of Israel. Joram had been wounded, and Ahaziah went to visit him. While visiting, both Ahaziah and Joram were killed by Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat. It's like something you're going to see on TV here. Perhaps it was fitting, because Ahaziah was influenced by his friend Joram and the house of Ahab, including Joram's infamous mother, Jezebel. I know you've heard of her, who Jehu also killed. Jehu then became king of the northern country of Israel. He had a good start, but then he went sour. In the meantime, Athaliah, Ahaziah's mom, Joram's widow, took over the kingdom of Judah from, say, around 841 to 835, 6 years. She was the only reigning queen in Judah's history. Hey, a woman's got to do what a woman's got to do, and she did. She was a busy lady. She killed all of her grandchildren except for Joash. I guess they forgot to call her Queen Grandma. Ah, family love. She would have slain Joash too, except others knew of Athaliah's wild rampage, and they hid Joash for 6 years. During that time, Queen Grandma, furnished Baal's temple. After Athaliah's wild monarchy, Joash, also known as Jehoash, surfaced with little help from his nurse, considering he was only 7 years old. Nevertheless, as son of Ahaziah and next in line to the throne, he became king of Judah. Circa 839 BC, perhaps some overlap with his grandma. Now, Jehoiada, the high priest, and Joash's uncle crowned Joash king. Isn't that nepotism? Anyway, Joash led his country for 40 years until around 799 BC. Apparently, Jehoiada, these names are hard to say, Jehoiada had quite an influence on Joash, because while Jehoiada was alive, Joash was a good dude. Brought about peace and prosperity to the people, repaired the temple, smashed the altars to Baal. But once Jehoiada was gone, Joash went off the deep edge. He abandoned God, just like that song that Billy was singing about, to not abandon God, and even had Jehoiada's son killed. Chip off the old grandma block. Then, along with Amaziah, Joash's son, Amaziah, was king of Judah from 799 to 775 BC. Now, experts determine his reign anywhere from 17 to 37 years, so most around 29. For the most part, he was a godly king, but for whatever reason, although he was the king for so many years, he never entirely wiped out idol worship. Now, Amaziah's successor was a long-reigning king. Experts vary from 27 to 52 years, approximately 778 to 738 BC. His name was Azariah or Uzziah, son of Amaziah. He was king around the time of the prophets Isaiah, Amos, Hosea, and Zechariah. He was a wealthy dude. He owned farms and vineyards, constructed water reservoirs, and fortified towers. He was so famous they even knew him in Egypt, but he didn't do right by God. So God struck him with leprosy. See, it doesn't make any difference what you have, who you know, or who knows you. If you're not walking with the Lord, you're in a heap of trouble, at least in the hereafter. But more on that later. Next, we're going to get into Jotham, Uzziah's son. He was king from approximately 747 to 735 BC. Again, there are conflicts, so somewhere between 8 to 20 years he was the king of Judah. Jotham did some good, but there was still idol worship. We'll get into that next time. Not really a cliffhanger. Shalom.
I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me, who strengthens me. Oh, the Spirit has given me life, and I can do all things through